Hello, everybody. Good morning, and welcome to the Saturday morning live stream. It's good to see everybody back after Christmas. We got about 30 people in here. That's awesome. Yeah, lots of things going on, which we'll go over. And it looks like we got a lot of people already entered into our contest today. And our contest today, if you didn't know, is we're giving away a dose. Here's a dose. And we're giving away a Neptune T-Shirt. And for those that don't know, I got these from the Toys for Kids. It says Control Freak on the back. And yeah, I got this stuff from the Toys for Kids, whatever it was, live stream that Neptune had. I got a hat finally. Unfortunately, the hat is a little big, but it's doable. All the shirts I have are larges, so if you're a little bit bigger, you'll have to give this to a friend. Um, Pretty sure this is a large. Yeah, this is a large. So yeah, all of them are going to be larges. I got a couple more things to give away over the next couple weeks. So yeah, we're going to have a good stream today. I got a lot of stuff to discuss, and we're going to go over a couple things that have been going on with me and why you haven't seen me and so forth. So let's see, we got about 30 people in here. Wonderful. We're going to need about, I think, I don't know. Let's see if we can get 50 people in here to give away the dose. I think that's appropriate. So anyway, just kind of housekeeping stuff. Desert Reef Aquatics, I don't know where the hell he is, as usual. He says he's going to be on some streams, but I can't seem to get back to him. So I don't know. Maybe next week. I have a couple guests lined up, but since it's Christmas and the holidays, it's been tough to get some people on the live streams. They've been so busy. So unfortunately, I don't know when we're going to have some people on and how we're going to have them on. So just kind of be patient with me during this time of year. So December and January are the busiest time of the year for me personally as a business. So I've been just really busy. Last week I wasn't feeling so good, so I didn't have a stream, and the week before that I wasn't feeling so good. So just got a lot of stuff going on, and really busy. I got a bunch of videos that I'm planning on putting out. I got some hydros videos, and I have some. I got a couple more GHL videos and a couple other videos I've been working on slowly, but you guys will just have to bear with me. Like I said, give me about a month or so to get back into the swing of things. Um, the questions on here about who's coming on. I don't want to tell you who's coming on. I have been trying to get Randy from BRS, as you guys know. I do have a trident that I'm going to be giving away if we get Randy on here, but Randy just does not get back to me. Obviously, during this time of year, it's going to be tough to get these people, like I said. So just be patient with me. Um, let's see. A couple other things. Yeah, I got some hats. Let me see. I got one or two hats over here. I'm going to be giving away maybe next week. I don't know. I haven't decided yet, so we'll see. But yeah, I like the hat. It's a little big, like I said, but it's a nice hat. So very very well made. I got a hoodie also that I got from the Toys for Kids. For those that don't know, I pitched in a lot of money for the donation, and I got a bunch of stuff. I got shirts, shot glasses, all kinds of stuff that I'm probably giving away. Some of it I'm going to be keeping myself. But the big news is I won a Sky. I won the actual Neptune Sky, which was pretty ridiculous. I was just totally shocked when I won it. It was crazy. Um, Let's see, Doug, you're in the contest. I'm new to Apex. Your videos have been helpful. Awesome, TJ. That's great to hear, man. And we're going to go over, that's kind of what we're going to go over today in our stream, is what you should buy and what you shouldn't buy. So um, let's see. Size is the hat. I don't know what size of the hat is. I know it's too big on me, and I got a pretty big head, but you guys can see it's a little big, but it's doable. It's doable. I don't know when I'm gonna get this guy, so you guys are gonna have to be patient. And when I get it, I'll go over it, of course. Let's see. Yeah, so today we're gonna talk about basically what you should be buying and what you shouldn't be buying. Primarily, we're gonna go over what's snake oil out there, what's not snake oil out there, what things that people buy for their fish tanks that, frankly, I think is a waste of money. And then we're going to talk about things that you should be buying, on your fish tank that you might not be buying because either it's too expensive or you're not sure if it's going to work. So we're going to go over a number of things. I have a list here that I came up with of things that over my, I don't know how many years I've been doing this. So I'm going to turn 39 in January. I've been doing this since I was about 6 or 7 years old. So more than 30 years I've been in the reefing hobby. So I've seen all different things. I've read different things. I belong to forums. Obviously, I don't really participate in most of the forums. I don't participate in a lot of my forums because it just becomes a pissing match for most people because everyone has their own opinion. So we're going to go over what I think is the right thing to do. And again, you guys might disagree with me, and that's the whole point of the stream. I wish Aaron from Desert Reef Aquatics was here because, as we know, he doesn't know what the hell he's doing, so he's a good backup to me. So it's good to see when he doesn't know what he's talking about. Okay. So first thing, the biggest thing out right now that I'm noticing is the auto testers. So there's a lot of new auto testers coming out. There's a lot of companies in Europe that are making some auto testers. There's a number of them that are already out. Basically, I never said I was old, but I was just saying that I've been doing this for a long time. But the point I'm making is there's a lot of auto testers out there, and a majority of them have come out and have failed. And we can go over, like the Mindstream. The Mindstream came out. I never got to test it, but when I saw the price tag of $1,000, and I found, when I met them at one of the shows, and they didn't seem to understand their product, I kind of knew that that was just doomed to fail. So my opinion on auto testers has always been, do you need to buy an auto tester? And the answer is no. You do not need to buy an auto tester. Neptune, of course, makes their Trident. You have the QH Director. You have the GHL Ion Director, which who knows if that's ever going to come out. You have the Mastertronic, which who knows if that's going to ever come out. You got a bunch of these products that say they're going to come out, and they never come out. And the reason they don't come out is because they have so many problems. They don't get proper testing. I guarantee you haven't spoke to anybody out there that actually has seen a ion director actually functioning and working. So my opinion on the ion director and most other auto testers is don't buy them. And my reasoning for not buying them is you have to put them through their paces. I bought a Trident. I was lucky that I bought my Trident and had very little problems with it. But I bought a Alcatronic and I had problems with it. I have a Reef bot and everyone knows I have problems with it. All these auto testers out there are very expensive. There's probably just thinking 5, 6 auto testers out there right now, and all of them, every single one of them have problems. So is it worth spending $1,000 on an auto tester? I don't think so. If you think about it from a grand scheme of things, of how much money you want to spend on your fish tank, I think auto testing is the one thing that you should not have to buy. Um, if you're going to, of course, uh, you know, spend the money, then of course buy one. But my point I'm making is, what's the point of buying them when you can do your own tests for a lot cheaper? That's what I'm getting at with my conversation. Obviously, I love my Trident. I hate my Reef bot. Someone had mentioned problems with Alcatronic. Yeah, the problems I had with the Alcatronic was you had to mix your own reagent, and every time I'd mix it, it would be off by a hair, and it would cause all kinds of. Then you have to go back in the Alcatronic and adjust it to what your reagent was. And I was like, I'm done with this. So again, auto testing, I love it. I love having it. It is not something that you have to have. So if people are out there saying you have to have an auto tester, I think that's completely a bunch of BS. So that's kind of what I wanted to go over. Let's see. What about the viewpoint with regards to extended travel requirements? Again, is an auto tester needed for traveling? Now, if you have a stable tank and it's been stable for months, and you test once a week and you know that your tank is stable, there's no reason for you to believe that you're going to need an auto tester if you go away, because your tank is on auto drive anyways. But like I said, it's again something that I don't see the need for. I don't think you have to have an auto tester. If we're talking about things you have to have and things you don't have to have, auto tester is something you do not have to have. So anyway, let's go on to the next thing. So let me see. We got any questions? Hatfield, there's your shout out. Jake, I think 4 tests a day is actually perfect. Knowing your alkalinity in the morning, knowing your alkalinity in the afternoon, knowing your alkalinity at night, I think are important. So 4 tests, I think, is actually pretty good. So, Tariq, you have a point, but I don't think it's going to affect it that much. Yeah, so we'll go over dosers. Yeah, Desert Reef isn't here today. I went over it earlier this morning. Okay, so let's go over some other things that I don't think you need. Again, we're talking about things that you need, you have to have in your tank. What am I going to buy? I have money and I have to buy something for my tank. Auto testers is one of the things that I do not think you need in a fish tank or an aquarium or reef tank, whatever. So another thing that I have been looking at in my tank, and I'm like, do I really need this? And that's an auto water change system. And my auto water change system was not super expensive, but after you think about all the tubing I have to run, all the labor to do it, all of the liter meters doing all kinds of things, and then you have to service the liter meters from time to time. Auto water changes, again, are another thing that I don't think you absolutely need, because you can do them yourself. Obviously, doing water changes sucks and is a pain in the butt, but do you really need it? I don't think you do. So a lot of people have been messaging me, asking me how to do water changes. You got to do this, and they ask me, okay, how many parts do I need? I tell them I need this, and they go, oh, I can't afford that. I can't do this. I can't do that. Again, something you don't need. Spend that money on something else. So that's my opinion on that. Auto water change is something you definitely don't need in the hobby, and people always will come up to me and go, how do you do your auto water changes? And I will always tell people, only do auto water changing if first of all, you're not home and you are lazy. I mean, those are the only 2 reasons. you know. Um, let's see if we have any other questions. So yeah, auto water changes, auto testers, those are things that you don't need to have. Oh, stupid camera. Uh, thank you guys. Yeah, it doesn't tell me, of course, when the thing's going to go out. uh, we'll talk about a couple things now. I've already talked about a couple things that you don't need. Things that you have to have in a fish tank. For terms, we're talking about automation today. By the way, guys, we're not talking about other things. I don't need a new camera. Um, Auto top off systems. That's a must. That's something that I recommend. Every single person in here has an auto top off system. You can get them very cheap. You can even program them into your Apex to make it very simple. Auto top off. That is a must. I would love to see someone in here tell me that auto top off is not something you have to have on a tank. That is number one, absolutely auto top off. I don't see why anyone would run a tank without an auto top off. That I don't know how you would function with remembering how much water you have to put in to fill every single day. I think auto top off is number one on my list if I'm going to buy something. Um, Let's see. Yeah, heater, that's a given. But again, we're talking about automation type stuff. I don't consider a heater automation. That's part of just a general tank, just like sand and water. um, I believe something that is not necessarily a must, but something that I think is a good thing to have, and that's an auto feeder. I think everyone out there should have an auto feeder. They're not super expensive. Auto feeders are great for people that are not there every day. They also make yourself a lot easier if you forget to feed your fish. So I've never liked gravity fed auto top offs. I like something that has the ability to shut off and on. Uh, I use a number of different auto top offs. I've used the Tunzi osmolator, which I think is easily one of the most important things, or I'm sorry, one of the best auto top off systems. I've used the Auto Aqua. It's a nice piece. Again, the Neptune is also really nice. The Hydros, their auto top off is really nice. Um, maybe if you're a batfish killer, then you don't need an auto top off. Unreefer, I have to actually disagree with you. So people have seen my tanks. I'm hoping I have auto feeders on my tanks. I've had auto feeders for 10 years. Okay, and I feed a specific pellet. It's called Dainichi. It comes directly from Japan. Um, I've shown it on. I think I've shown it on one of my streams. It's quite expensive. I only can get it from Australia. They used to sell it here locally. They might sell it still in local fish stores. And I can tell you right now, I have fed these pellets to lionfish. I have fed these pellets to eels. I have fed these pellets to pufferfish. I have fed these pellets to triggerfish. You name it, I have fed these pellets to all these different fish, and I have had fish live longer than most of my tanks. I have a hogfish that is huge that all he eats is pellets, and I've had him for probably 8 years. I had a lionfish only eat the pellets, and he was happy with it. So I'm going to disagree with you only because my experience is if you get the correct pellet and you get a fish that eats it, you can get the same nutrition out of a pellet that you can get any other frozen food. So for me, I feed all my fish pellets, and I always have. So yes, auto feeders I think are awesome. Eheim makes a real cheap one that I've had. It works great. Usually they're pretty loud, so just be aware of that. But yeah, auto feeders are also really important if you are not home to feed your fish. At least they're getting some nutrition if you're not going to buy the really expensive Dainichi like I have. I disagree with you, Brandon. I've never had a Tunzi pump be unreliable. If we're talking about the osmolator, I've never had that thing break. I've had that thing running for probably 10 years without a single issue. Um, Matt, it's really easy to fill it. I do find that some of the times the auto feeders will get locked up where the bin won't come out. And what I've found is that if I turn on the auto feeder, I just go to my app and hit on, and I just pull it out while it's coming out. That seems to work really well for me. Um, yeah, we'll get into that, TJ. That was something I did want to discuss in part of my spiel here. So yeah, auto top offs, and again, we're talking about automation type equipment. I don't really consider a skimmer an automation type equipment. But yes, I don't consider a skimmer a must. However, I've seen flourishing tanks without skimmers. Um, the young gentleman, I buy my fish all from one place. Everyone here knows where I buy them from, and I do not quarantine my fish. My all I can say is I have bought the same fish and the same corals from the same place for 5, 10 years. Um, and never had any problems with them. I've never had a fish have any diseases. I've never had corals, have aptasia or any type of thing because I get it from the same place every time. And that's been my recommendation to everyone here that's watching. If you're going to buy fish and you're going to buy corals, don't buy them from multiple different places. Buy them from one place. Find the one place that you like that has a lot of selection and only buy from them. Don't buy from anywhere else. And I guarantee you will not have issues with any of your fish as long as you buy it from the same place every time. You know what you're getting, and you're not going to have diseases as long as you're buying it from a place, of course, that quarantines their fish, does a good job with husbandry, their husbandry. So just be aware that's how I do it, and that's how I've always done it. People always say you want to buy frags from me, or hey, you want to trade frags. I don't do any of that. I only buy from the same place every single time. Um, I don't think a filter roller mat is a must, Anthony. I would consider that a luxury similar to that of an auto tester. I have not looked at the plank. I am actually interested in it, Rob. I was looking into it. I don't like the frozen feeders out there right now. Again, I'm not a frozen feeder in general, but I would probably try it out. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Brandon. I think quarantining is an absolutely a very important thing to do. However, for me, and again, I'm a little maybe different than some out there, is if I'm buying from the same place every single time, I know that I'm going to get the same quality. I know because I've spoke to them how they quarantine their fish. I feel confident. I have purchased every fish that I've ever bought except for one from this place, and I've never had a single issue. The one time I bought a fish from a local fish store, I didn't quarantine it and I had ick. The one time. Uh, Other than that, like I said, I buy my own stuff from the same place every time, and I've never had any issues whatsoever. I don't think a salinity monitor is a must, similar to that of an auto feeder. You can just take the water out and test your salt whenever you need to. You got to think of it as what can you do manually over what you can do automatic and what automation will provide for you. And an auto top off, of course, is huge. Like I couldn't sit here all day putting water in my tank. That would just be a pain in the ass. Um, let's see. Yeah, I would say a skimmate collector is nice to have. Also, not something you have to buy. I would say that's definitely a luxury item. Where do I get my fish and coral? So everyone knows that I buy my coral from Top Shelf Aquatics. I've always bought my coral from Top Shelf Aquatics. Every single piece of coral that I have is from Top Shelf Aquatics. That's the only place I buy them from. Let's see. Can you please say the name of your auto feeder you use? I use the AFS. I use the Neptune one. It's pretty loud, but you know it's easy to program and it connects to my Apex already. Let's see. Can you make your own frozen auto feeder? I guess you could. I would say the Apex probe that's a must and essential, of course, would be temp. For most of you guys out there that are either new to the hobby or maybe have been in the hobby for a few years, temperature is the one thing that's going to kill your corals faster than and your fish than anything else. Um, you know your pH. I've had my pH drop to 7.5. I had my pH at 8.5 one time, and all of my corals were just fine. All of my fish were just fine. pH, alkalinity. Alkalinity is kind of a touchy subject because if you do boost your alkalinity too fast, there's a good chance you'll kill pretty much 100% of your corals. Sorry, not your corals, your SPS. Usually, most of the LPS and the softies can handle big swings in alkalinity, but SPS won't be able to handle it. So, if your alkalinity was to just go up 2 points all of a sudden, there's a good chance all of your SPS will die. But when it comes to the most important sensor, it's gonna be temp every single time because most fish and most corals can't handle large swings of temperature. And typically, if your temperature was to be that high for more than an hour or two, generally you'll kill a lot of animals. Also, oxygen. Oxygen's the most important thing. So if you don't have flow going through the tank, that's the most important thing in a fish tank. Um, what's your thoughts on the controller? I was under my mind. I really don't want to talk about controllers versus controllers. There's so many things going on with controllers, GHL, Hydros. I'm testing all of them. You know, I have them all here. But yes, to the question someone had asked, temperature is going to be your most important thing to monitor. If we're talking about the most important thing, it's going to be temperature. Always, temperature is number one. Some other must-haves. I don't think you have to have dosers. This is a kind of a. I had a heated, not really a heated argument. I don't get mad at people, but I had a heated argument with someone about getting a doser. And the guy had a 20-gallon fish tank, and I think he had some mushrooms. And I'm like, dude, you don't need to get a doser. Even just water changes will suffice for mushrooms. So I don't think dosers are a must-have in a tank. Generally, you can hand dose a tank once a day, even once every couple days, and be just fine. Um, that's my opinion on that. So I don't think dosers are a must-have. Uh, I think all of you are correct. Heater controllers, anything to monitor temperature, I think is a must for sure. Um, let's see. Battery backups is a big subject. I think battery backups are a must. I think that's something you have to have in a tank, some form of a battery backup, whether it can be an APC that you buy, from the, Office Depot or any of the ones that they make for DC pumps. I think battery backups are a must in a system. I think every single person should have one, regardless of what it is, just to keep water flow going. That's the most important thing. Um, you can use dosers for trace elements. Absolutely. Uh, let's see. How do you feel about dosing trace elements? We'll kind of go over that. I don't use an Inkbird. I've never used an Inkbird. You got to remember, guys, though, I'm in Arizona, so my heater barely ever comes on. So, no, I don't use one. But I do recommend it for people that have a heater that has to come on a lot of times throughout the day. I would recommend some form of a backup for your heater. Yeah, generator, battery backup, kind of the same thing. Um, a UV sterilizer is definitely not a must-have. Grounding probes, I think, are not important um, unless you have a known stray voltage in your tank. If you guys don't know how to test for stray voltage, it's actually pretty easy. And you only need to really have a grounding probe and test for stray voltage. If you start to see a lot of your fish with HLLE or head lateral line disease, and I'm not going to explain it, but that's generally a good indication that you have some type of stray voltage. If you get a voltmeter, you can get them at Home Depot, and you put the probe, the positive probe into the tank, and you put the negative probe into a negative on your wall outlet. You can test if there's stray voltage. You should get 0 voltage whenever you do that. Let's see. A lot of people asking about trace elements and amino acids and stuff. Again, I don't think that's necessary at all. Trace elements, generally, if you're doing a good water change, you don't need to supplement trace elements. But I dose trace elements with my ABC component. I guess it just depends on if your consumption is large. Like if you have a ton of fish, or I'm sorry, a ton of coral, then yeah, maybe dosing trace elements is important. I'm actually in Gilbert, but yes, yes, I'm in Gilbert, Arizona. Vivid or Antonio, I've had a lot of my APCs for a very long time. By sticking your hand in the tank. Yeah, I mean, if you have high voltage in a stray, you could probably feel it, but more or less you won't feel it. Usually stray voltage is so minuscule that you won't feel it. But no, my APC batteries, you're supposed to replace them about every year. I don't replace them, and I've had them go off and test. I test them maybe once a year. I just kill the power and see how long they last, just for fun. So let's see some other stuff. One of the biggest things that I wanted to discuss today is cheaping out, and I have this conversation with a lot of people. For those that don't know me, I make a decent living. I'm able to afford, some stuff that not everyone can afford, and I understand that. I don't get any hand-me-downs. I don't, most of the stuff that I have, I give to people most of the time. But the reason I'm saying this is I sell electronics for a living. I sell, I install televisions, I install home theater for a living, and I see this every day. And it's the same thing in our hobby. If you're not going to spend the money, don't buy it. And how do I explain this the right way? If you're going to go cheap out on something, don't buy it. And let me explain what I'm trying to say. For most of us, we're going to put coral in our tank, and it's going to grow if you do it right. It's going to grow, and it's going to be worth a lot of money depending on what corals you buy. So like I have a bunch of corals in here that are worth a lot of money, right? And I can frag them and make some money. I can give them to people. I can sell them. I can do whatever I want with them because they're starting to outgrow my tank, right? But when I first got them, they were pretty expensive, just the frag. Like I have some frags that are $100. I got some frags that are $300. They're really expensive frags. So most of us in here, I think Brian would be one. Battle OCR, another one that I know of. I don't know some of these other guys' tanks, but you guys have, if you were to do a calculation of how much money you have only in coral, nothing else, just coral, I bet you'd be shocked to find out how much money your coral is worth. Not when it was a frag, but how big it is now. So think of it like this. If you spent $1,000 on a bunch of coral, right, for a small tank, and over a period of 6 months, it's now worth $1,500, and then after the next 6 months, it's worth $2,000, you have $2,000 invested in your tank, right? And you go to Petco or you go to I don't know, you go somewhere and you decide that you're going to buy a heater, and you look at all the heaters, right? And I'm not going to mention names, but you have a heater at Petco that's $10, and you have a heater that's $100, right? Don't spend $10 on the heater. If you're going to spend money, spend the extra money on something that's going to last, that's not going to break, that you're going to have to, not have any problems with, and that your tank's going to flourish. So the point I'm trying to come across is, if you put a lot of money into your coral, why would you not put a lot of money into the equipment to keep that coral alive? That's what I'm going at. Mike, I'm going to agree with you to a point. Mike said you could throw a lot of money at the hobby and still be unsuccessful. That's true. If you don't pay attention to what you're doing and you don't pay attention to your tank, of course you could throw tons of money at your tank and not know what the hell you're doing. You can spend all kinds of money and think that you did it all right, and then crash your tank because you're not paying attention to it. There's a lot of things. But the point I'm trying to make is, there's so much in this hobby that people call me or they message me about, and they say, "Oh, I bought this and it's not working," and then I found out they bought some secondhand pile of crap that was used for 3 years that barely works, and they're complaining that they have no success with their tank. So one of my reasons for mentioning this is, I'm trying to get the point out that um, spend the money on good quality product if you want to have a good quality experience, is all I'm saying. Yeah, if you have a couple little mushrooms in your tank, don't go all crazy and buy a trident and all this other stuff. You don't need it. But if you have a lot of money spent on these frags and your corals, then absolutely put the right money in the right places to keep your tank flourishing. Um, that's all I'm saying. Yeah, see, Rob does the opposite. But again, I just wanted to mention that. I see it too much in this hobby. I get a lot of messages about how someone bought a Reef bot and they're unhappy with it, and I'm like, well, you bought a Reef bot, so that's your fault. So what do you want me to say? So it doesn't matter what it costs. Sometimes expensive stuff is crap too. Uh, yes, he does, J Fusion. That's 100% correct. He gets good quality stuff. Anyway, so let's see. Yeah, I would agree, Eric. I think in the first couple of years, you should really focus on getting quality equipment for your tank. Absolutely. Yeah, that's true. So let's see. So I couple other things. Someone had mentioned my issues with the Provolux. I think someone had mentioned what is my least favorite part about the GHL. I think someone had asked me about that. Um, I I'm telling you guys, I've been trying really hard, and again, I've been really busy, but I've been trying really hard to um, do some tutorials for GHL, and I am so lost. Like it's not that I am just so familiar with Apex, and again, I'm a computer programmer, so I program for a living, and it's so convoluted how to program the GHL. I've tried so hard to learn it, and I'm totally lost. And all I want to do is just basic tutorials for people, and I can't even do that. I am almost ready to give up on it, to be honest with you. I've never seen something so convoluted. Now, a lot of people out there will tell me, okay, well, once you program it, you don't have to touch it again. Okay, that's fine, and I agree with that. If you get a GHL, you program it, you make it work, you probably don't have to touch it again, and I agree with that. But you got to remember, as a content provider and someone that needs to show people how to do things, I have to know how to do everything and show people. And yes, I can program a GHL and say, okay, I'm done with it. I don't ever touch it again. But that's not what I'm going to do for my viewers. I'm going to try to show you, well, you can do this, but what if you want to do this? Or what if you want to do this? And I am struggling. I am really struggling with it. Let's see. Bigger is easier to take care of. I agree. I have always said that forever. The bigger the tank, the easier it is. 100% agree. My thoughts on used equipment. I bought used equipment. I guess when it comes to used equipment, you have to know where you're getting it from. I don't know. I mean, some people just don't pay attention and clean their equipment and it has all kinds of problems. But I've bought used equipment and it's been fine. Just know where you're getting it from. Let's see. Yep, that's exactly what I was saying, Reef Keeper. Alice says, been noticing even high-end equipment. Yeah, again, it's not the price tag I'm talking about. It's really just know what you're buying. If you're buying something more expensive, more than likely it's going to be better built. It's going to have better parts. That's all. Let's see. What size is the suite? Big enough to not run out of room too fast? I think like 150 or 200 gallon tank is a great size. Yeah, your little 6. Okay, yeah. Okay, buddy. Uh, what was I saying? Someone was asking me. Oh yeah. So the GHL, I'm pretty close to just throwing in the towel with it. I don't know. We'll see. I have some people helping me out. I've just been so busy. I haven't had a chance to really go through it. The Hydros, on the other hand, I have had really good success with it. I've been using it with Desert Reef, of course, and it's actually really, really good. I mean, I'm really happy with it, honestly. So I'm going to have some videos out there for the Hydros. I really like it. Let's see. ReefBot is a pile of junk. I've had nothing but problems with that stupid thing. I am very close to dumping that thing as well. If anybody has a really good shotgun, I'd like to put it on my porch and record a video of me blowing it up, because that's about where I'm at with that thing. I'm going to probably buy a Mastertronic if it ever comes out. However, I don't know when the stupid thing is coming out. So I probably will try it or buy one. It's very expensive, so I probably have to sell the Reef Bot and make some money up for it. One of the biggest problems I have with the Reef Bot, and you guys don't really experience it as much probably. I don't know how many of you have one, but I don't get notifications on my phone. So when it stops doing tests, I don't know that it stopped doing tests. And then I'll wait a week and find out, it didn't do a test. Because of the stupid plunger, or because the stupid RODI was, who knows. It's just such a pile of junk. I'm sick and tired of it. I put the Control 4 on my frag tank, love it. I have an Apex on my other so far. Yeah, I'm wearing a Neptune hat, but I can tell you right now that Hydros has a lot of good stuff. I'm very happy that they have something. Yeah, Kevin's got a really good point there. Yeah, the shells on the shotgun would be insulted. That's funny. So let me kind of show you. I don't know if I can. Let's see. Where is? Well, yeah. See, let me just show you what I experienced. I'm trying to say this in a nice way, but here's the Reef Bot. All I want to do is go to the home page, and this is what the stupid app does. I'm trying to go to home, and it just flips and just keeps. I cannot go to the home page. As you can see, it just keeps going back and forth to this home page. Nope, I'm gonna go here. So what do I have to do? I got to reset the app. Every time. Oh, wait, let's see. Can I get to the home page now? I don't know. Let's see. Nope, can't get to the home page. Well, let's keep trying. Oh, we're just going to keep going here. I can't do anything. Okay, so this is the Reef bot. I'm showing you it live as I'm trying to get to the home screen, and I can't get to the home screen. So, again, I've been saying this for years, since I've had that thing. Their app needs to be changed. I don't get notifications. Sometimes the app just doesn't work. Sometimes I'm lucky if I can even get to the home page to do a test. So anyway, let's see. I have not looked at the cage keeper, so I'm not going to comment on it. I watched a good friend of mine chop up his caged guardian with a sword. Nice. I want to see that. Oh, Gabe, don't even get into that, dude. I have the Reef bot on my Neptune, so I can turn it off and on so many times. What's my biggest regret equipment purchase? Obviously, the Reef bot. Do a hard reset with your foot. Listen, guys. You know I try to be as honest as I can and sincere, and I don't like bashing products. But it's just unacceptable that I can't get to the home screen to show you guys one thing. Like, look at this. I'm seriously pressing the home screen, and it will not go there. It just won't go there. And again, the biggest issue is notifications. I can't get notifications from it. I've spoke to multiple people that have the same exact issue. And what I mean by notifications, for those that aren't aware how the Reef bot works, is you need to know when your RODI is low. You need to know when the test is completed, obviously. You need to know when the syringe needs to be replaced. There's things that you need to make sure of that you're getting to know so you can fix it yourself, because the Reef bot breaks every 5 minutes. So my opinion has always been, don't buy a Reef bot. Yes, this is the biggest not to buy for your yes, don't buy a Reef bot. And listen, I used to be very what's the word I'm looking for? I used to be a lot more cordial with them and gave them a lot more credit, but then I started to see that their support was lacking too. And the fact is, they kicked me out of their Facebook group when I needed help. So I'm done with them. And I really don't care anymore. Reef Keeper, I don't know, but I do have a friend that runs his Reef bot on the Android and says that he constantly has to reboot his Reef bot. So I don't know. Let's see. What makes power strips like the EB8 worth their price? I don't really have an answer for you other than it's hardwired. The Provolux makes those power bars that are also hardwired. I do like that the GHL has them wired via Ethernet and not via a USB cable. I do like that the sorry, not the EB8, the Provolux power bars have a reset switch on them. You can turn them off and on, whereas the EB8s do not. I think that's actually a really good feature, so you can quickly just turn off the power bar. Worth their price. I mean, I don't really have an answer for you other than it's hardwired. I've had so many EB8s. I probably have about 9 of them, and I've never had a single issue with one of them. I have had issues with EB4s. I have had issues with Aqua Controller Juniors. I've never had an issue with an EB8. I've personally never had an issue with an EB832 either, but I know a lot of people out there have. Yes, Farm Martin, avoid the Reef bot at all costs, and I'm going to keep saying that until they fix their shit. Yeah, Patrick has a good point there. Apex has a really big user following. GHL has a pretty decent size following, but like I said, the programming is just so difficult. And I've tried, I really have. I want to, I telling them, why would you program a leak detector and call it water fill? That makes absolutely no sense. Like, why would you put GHL and put leak detector and call it water fill? That doesn't make any sense. CD Cruiser, I would actually say Hydros. After all of my research, the Hydros is really easy to program. Now, I will say this to Neptune's credit. Neptune has the ability via the tasks, which will automatically program it for you. And also, the Apex is already programmed out of the box. So it's kind of very close, but I think the Hydros is actually easier for newer people that don't know how to program. Issue with the EB4. Yeah, I've had those relays on the EB4s lock up. I have to take a hammer to them and hit them for them to come back. Yeah, I've never had a wave, Jake, but I've heard the same thing. Yeah, some people have had EB832s die. I have one EB832, and it's been really good. So, do you like the Versa or the Dose better? That's a really good question, Milton. The Dose is loud. It's very loud if you're doing it for auto water changes. The Versas are very quiet, so it's kind of hard to say. I would say the Versas are better for auto water changes, honestly. Um, yeah, I've never had an issue with an EB8, like I said. Let me put that up a little longer. Let's see. Yeah, everybody Collins had that this weekend. Neptune server went down. What's up, Chris? It's good to see everyone, new people and old. We got about 70 people in here. That's awesome. We got about 44 entered in the contest today. And better do it yourself with a breakout or pay for the ATA. That's a really good question on Reefer. I would say, oh, if you're pretty good with DIY, get the breakout box. If you don't want to mess with DIY type stuff, get the ATK. That's my opinion on that. The most essential module. I would say the most essential module I have. Oh boy. Maybe my dose. The dose is really important for me. So I'd say the dose. What should you not plug into the Apex power bar? TJ, I plug in a lot of stuff. I would say don't plug in a very powerful heater. Don't plug in a very powerful chiller. That's about it. Usually it can take just about everything else. Yeah, the FMM. You guys have me beat the FMM. I've had an EB832 die. It was about 3 or 4 years. Yeah, a lot of people are telling me they have issues with the EB832. Like I said, I have never had an issue with mine. I don't know if I'm just lucky or what. Well, Radeon isn't really a Apex module. Well, it isn't at all, actually. But I love my Radeons. As you guys know, I'm going to be getting a Sky. So I'm probably going to put it on my Nano here because I don't know where else I'm going to put it. Just an ASM. Are we talking about ASM? ASM. What's an ASM? Is that the... Yeah, you'll have to tell me what the ASM is. I can't remember what it is. I don't have a clue when I'm getting the Sky, guys. Yeah, EB8s. Yeah, if you can buy an EB8, buy an EB8. Like I said, the 832s are great, but you know, again, they sell the EB8s because you don't need all those ports, right? So that's why they sell them. You know. Oh, the par meter. Don't even bother buying that. Buy an Apogee par meter. I mean that I don't see the point in having something that measures par in the tank. Like, I no point. Uh, uh, let's see. This guy looks like a pizza box. Yeah, I don't even know what it looks like either, guys. And you know, I'm part of the insider group, and I still have no clue what it looks like. Yeah, not worth the money. Like Doug just said, just buy an actual par meter. You can actually rent a par meter from BRS, and that's just the same. I mean, how many times are you going to change your par in your tank? You know, once you know your par in your tank, unless corals are overlapping each other, you're going to always know what the par is in the tank. You know. Yeah, Sunni's decent for par. Absolutely. How did you get into the Neptune testing group? I applied, like everybody else. I had to apply. I had to write a essay of why I want to be part of it and what I'm going to do, and it's just like getting into a college. Kind of same thing. The half sensors, Chris, you're going to use those for reactors. Generally, that's all you're going to use them for. You're going to use them for any type of media reactor. Let's see. Well, Berkey, you can no longer apply. They had an apply. I don't know when it was. It was back in July, maybe or maybe before COVID. But yeah, you can't apply it right now. Young gentleman, EB8 over the GHL power strips. Take a look at my GHL versus Apex series. I go over, in my opinion, what's better and why. Uh, I do dose amino acids. I dose AcroPower all day long. And I do run my skimmer during dosing. Most of the time, I run my aminos in one section of my skimmer. It goes, or one section of my sump. It doesn't go anywhere near my skimmer. So no, I don't. I don't do that. Um, yeah, Berkey, you have to apply when they have open. It's like open enrollment with your health insurance. There's only a certain time you can apply. Uh, Trade coral for its use? Yeah, I don't see why not. Yeah, like Reef Keeper said, you have to be diligent, I guess. Young gentleman, I just answered that question. Watch my videos over what I feel is better. Thank you very much, Alyssa. You must be related to Chris because you have the same last name. That's my guess. Although we know Brian Bench likes to cheat with the contests and get his whole family to enter the contest so that way he can win. But I'm monitoring him closely now, so he can't do that anymore. Let's see. Oh, let me grab a couple things over here before I forget. So uh, we got two hats here. See? So I'll be giving one of these away, I think. Um, let's see. I got this. I'm keeping for myself, so none of you guys are getting this. This is my hoodie that I got from them. That was awesome. These I will be giving away. I have two more shirts. Oh, I got two more shirts here. Also, guys, I am working on Reef Automation hats. I'm also working on Reef Automation shirts because people have asked for them. So I did not cheat. Yes, you did. That was a cheat. Uh, no, I just ordered it and I don't know. Your Facebook group is still pending? You mean my group? It shouldn't be pending. Who knows? Yeah, so we're gonna be. I'm making my own shirt and my own hats. I've just been so busy with work. I haven't had time to do much. Berkey, no idea, buddy. I don't mean to be rude, but I don't know anything about the sky. I don't know anything more than you do. I go to all of the Neptune streams just like you do and learn just like you do. So I have no idea. Stickers. I don't know. I don't know if stickers would be something. Maybe. Maybe I'll make stickers. Who knows? We only have what 1,600 people, I think, in the Facebook group, and I think we have 1,600 or so in the YouTube. So we got to get a lot of people. I'm hoping people will buy that stuff. I don't know. I need someone to help me with the design because I'm not really good at designing. Let's see. The trigger sump systems are freaking awesome. I love them. Um, there is one issue that I have, and that is when the roll goes out. It would be nice if I could put maybe a sensor at the top to tell me if the water got too high and that the roll was out to warn me. So I might add a sensor to it. It's public. Is it Alyssa? It is public, but I do monitor who goes in the group. So you do have to answer some questions, but I do monitor it. People know that have known me for a long time. I monitor that group like a hawk. Um, yeah, I mean, a sticker. I don't know. Would people want stickers? I don't use stickers. I mean, no one's gonna put a bumper sticker that says Reef Automation. I don't think. Maybe they'll put stickers on their tank. I don't know if that would look good. Eh, well, maybe we'll see. Yes, Battle OCR has won a hat. All he has to do is contact Terrence, and he's going to give him a hat. Hey, if you guys want stickers, then I'll make stickers. I'm sure the company that I'm using will make stickers. That's freaking cool that you guys want stickers. So, but yeah, I'm working on it. I'm working on, we kind of have a logo. We have the brain coral from my tank, and the reef automation. I don't know if that's going to look good on a sticker. I don't know if that's going to look good on a shirt. I don't know. I want to make something cool. So we'll see. You know. So anyway, we're at about an hour, so we're gonna start hitting the bricks here. I got a busy day. I'm sure most of you guys do. So today's contest is a Neptune shirt. It's the Control Freak shirt that I wear. I got this through the raffle. It says Control Freak on the back. All I have is a large, unfortunately, because all the shirts I ordered were larges because they were for me. But I ended up just giving them away. I have a brand new dose, sealed, that I'm also giving away today. Yeah, anybody want to help with the logo? Go on Facebook. Give me some ideas. I'd prefer any ideas, or I've been doing my own little ideas, but I could really use some help. So, all right, so we're going to give away the dose and the shirt today. And as everyone, if you haven't been here before, you have to have been here the entire stream. When whoever's the winner has to contact me on Facebook. And it's free shipping in the United States. Anything outside the United States, you got to pay for shipping. So here we go. We got 44 people that entered today. That's awesome. The winner of today's dose and shirt is Lucas. Lucas Turman. You, my friend, are the winner of today's prize. I know you're here. At least you were here earlier. Hopefully you're still here. So you win the shirt and the dose, my friend. And we'll give him a minute. There he is. So Lucas, just message me on Facebook to claim your prize. He's not here. Okay, Philly Reefer, haven't you won twice, dude? So next week, I should have someone coming on. I know I have someone scheduled for the 9th. So if not next week, the following week, I have someone coming on. We're going to be giving away some more shirts. I might give away a hat. I do have a trident that I'll be giving away. I do have a full Apex system also that I won in the raffle. So I don't know if I'm going to sell that or not. I haven't decided yet. So that's awesome, Luke, man. You're the winner today. So thanks for watching, guys. I know it was a lot of chatting. Hopefully not too boring. We should have Desert Reef back next week to annoy and to piss off. So hopefully that'll be more fun. So you guys have a great Saturday. Thanks for watching. And yeah, have a good one.